So yeah, we're doing a part two because I just got kicked off automatically, and we'll continue into a part two. I haven't done a video in a long time anyway, so be all right. Hell, you might as well walk out and check the mail with me. Again, we're doing stuff. Nothing of real consequence, and I'm sure nothing that's going to grab more viewers, but what the hell? We're doing stuff. We're making progress. Now you can kind of get an idea of how far I've got to trek to get out to my mailbox. It's a long driveway. See, it's nice and winding. Got trees and bushes on both sides. My magnolia bushes, got them on both sides of the, not magnolia, azalea. Got them on both sides of the driveway, going about 2/3 of the way down. And in springtime, late winter, early spring, they bloom and they are gorgeous. No, I am not intoxicated. I am just doing this without my cane, which I can do now. But even though I am a little bit stronger and a little bit more controlled, I'm still quite unbalanced when it comes to stepping with the right foot. And especially without my cane, I tend to bob and weave side to side a little bit. But yeah, I'm really trying to hold on to that truck until I, at the very least, am guaranteed that the mortgage is not, there's not going to be any funny business with the mortgage. Especially now, because I've got other trucks out back, but none of them are anywhere near in as good a shape as my 281s. My most favorite one that I've got, and it's pretty much my dream truck. It would be a little bit better if it was an F-250, just because it, you know, heavier duty, but it's an F-150. It's a 77 Ford F-150 single cab, and it's a four-wheel drive. It's got a 400 cubic inch V8, which I can't tell what that is, which I think is a really good motor. A lot of guys are kind of iffy about them. They don't make great power. They make decent power for what they are, but they don't make great power right out of the gate. Because they're a victim of their time. You know, the 70s era engine, we had the fuel crisis, and there was a push to you know, reduce fuel consumption, and power and performance suffered a lot as a result of that. So not big power. I want to say that one that I got out back does have a 4-barrel and some bolt-on go-fast bits. If I had to take a guess, I would say it's probably putting about I would say between 225 to 260 horses to the rear wheels. And those motors are really tough. The one problem with them, and I think the 351M suffered more from it, but the 400 and the 351M are basically the same engine, and they did suffer from lower end oiling issues, but that's not hard to fix. I mean, you really got to take the motor out to fix it, but it's not horrible. I would still rather have a 351 Windsor, because in my opinion the 351 Windsor is Ford's absolute best all around middle of the road engine. You can make big power with those engines. Both in the category of low end torque and speed. They're pretty good on gas for a V8. So the fuel consumption is not horrible. And they're good in a race car, and they're good in a work truck. And then, of course, I would also much prefer to have a 4-speed, a 4 in the floor, rather than an automatic. But that truck, apart from those issues, those things, is my favorite truck. The 70s, the 73 to 79 Ford F-Series pickup trucks, also known as dent sides, because you can kind of see it on this one. It has this recessed channel that goes, all the way down the bed, and the cab that was a holdover, kind of a holdover from the 70s on into the early 80s. It's much more pronounced on the 70s trucks, and they earned the nickname dent side, and those are my favorite. But I was out there looking at that truck last week, and it already had some rust issues with the cab, but over the last year and a half, approaching 2 years, the rust issues with the cab have gotten really bad, especially along the roof line on the passenger side, and I don't know if that cab is salvageable. So it would need a cab. And there and again, we're in this era right now where not a lot of guys want to go through the hassle of replacing it, or if they do, they damn sure don't want to spend heavy to do it. So if I was to put that truck up for sale, I might get a bite, I might not, but I certainly wouldn't get much money for it. I paid, I think I gave the guy $1,000 for that truck, and that was purely because it's a 4-wheel drive dent side. And it's sat out there because it needs a transmission rebuilt. The cooler vane in the radiator at some point before me failed, and it mixed engine coolant with trans coolant, and engine coolant got into the transmission, and that is an instant automatic rebuild or replacement. And when I first got the truck, I was trying to find another one to replace it, but I couldn't find a trans. I ended up picking up a 4-speed manual, and it came from a 82 or 83 F-250 with a 351 Windsor. Probably 83 or 84, because I think it was 83 when they started putting the Windsors in them. So it's got the small block bell housing. I would need to put a 400 bell housing on it. Most manual transmissions, this one included, the bell housing is interchangeable, whereas like the transmission that's in it now, C6, it's a complete case. The bell housing is not interchangeable. So I was trying to find a bell housing, and I was also trying to find the clutch parts, the pedal quadrant, and linkage, the bits and bobs that go between the clutch pedal and the transmission. And then I was going to convert it to a 4-speed, but I never found the other parts, and now it's sitting out there kind of slowly wasting away. It will most likely need a cab on it, so I will we'll see where things go in the next year or two, and I will come to the point of either selling it to somebody that can save it, or being able to put another cab on it myself. It's so hard to get any money out of a project car right now because it's gotten so expensive to work on them, fix them. A lot of guys aren't doing it anymore because most people that do it, the main reason they do it is to flip them. And obviously the goal is to get more money out of it than you put into it. But when it's so expensive to fix up an old vehicle, it becomes, a battle of, can I fix it and still make more money than I put into it, or am I going to lose money? I'm one of those guys, probably to my detriment, that I would, get an old junker and spend ridiculous amounts of money that I would never get back out of it to fix it, just to put it back on the road. But most guys aren't like that, so I've got a bunch of projects out here, a bunch of old junkers out here. And a few of them have sat on Marketplace for months with no real success, aside from, offers that do me no good. But the other alternative is taking them to the scrapyard, like $200 for a car, which, is nothing to sneeze at, but I'm taking a huge loss for the money that I spent to get most of them, and an even bigger loss if I could just get to a point where I could fix some of this stuff, I could make way more money than going to the scrapyard. Plus, right now I'm not capable of pulling a vehicle up onto my trailer to take it out there. I've got a car dolly, but most of the stuff I got out here, tires are no good, and I couldn't trust that I could dolly something out to the scrapyard before I lost a tire. Walk back over here. This trailer right here next to Caroline, that's my car trailer, and it is right now holding 2 car lifts that belong to my neighbor's son. And then that trailer right there belongs to my neighbor. His girlfriend wanted it off the property, and he had nowhere else to put it, so he asked, and I said, yeah, bring it over, I don't care, I got the room. And yeah, I could, hit him up for like a few bucks, a month to park it here. I could hit him up for a few bucks to, let those car lifts sit on my trailer. And again, maybe it's to my detriment. I'm just not, that's just not me. I have such a hard time doing stuff like that. Plus, my neighbor has helped me out before, so he's the one neighbor that I got that I'm that I'm friends with out here. I don't want to be an ass and say, well, you can keep your stuff over here, but it's time to start paying rent. Maybe I should, but that's not me. Again, to my detriment. I did tell him, though, that his son's going to have to do something with his car lifts, because I'm going to eventually need my trailer back, especially if it comes to where I've got to start scrapping stuff. But not there yet. I can't drive yet. And I'm not physically capable of winching a car up onto that trailer with a come along, which is the only way I have to do it right now. And my dad has never pulled a trailer in his life, and my mom has learned to pull the little trailer with the lawnmower on it, but their Jeep wouldn't pull the car trailer. It probably would, but tear up the rear end. Plus, there'd be, no stopping it. Those Jeeps are so light. And she's not familiar with handling my truck. The back brakes in this truck are all but gone. So it's not something that's going to happen right now. A few months down the road, maybe, and I'll be very sad. But, if that's what's got to happen, that's what's got to happen. I've had some issues with my heart the last couple of weeks. My blood pressure spiking crazy high late at night, to the point where I've had to take nitro once last week and then again last night. And I don't know why, and I can't go back to the cardiologist right now. But hopefully that's not anything serious. Again, that's something that we'll have to see. I'm rationing my heart medication. I'm not taking it exactly the way I'm supposed to, because a couple of them are twice a day, and I take them once a day. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I don't know. But that's what's going on. That's where we're at. Joey's down south with his mom for the weekend, visiting her family. I'm going to get back out here and cut some more grass tomorrow. And hopefully my Medicaid application gets approved sooner rather than later, and I'll be able to go refill my prescriptions and just try to keep going forward. My GoFundMe link, even though I hate plugging it, will be in the description. Unfortunately, I can never seem to get to a point where I don't really need the help anymore. I get past one issue and then there's two more, so I do still need help. But don't help me to your detriment. I know that there are some people that have made donations and it's not been easy for them to do it. Please don't do that. I'll get by. I'll make it. If you are able to and you want to do it, that's great. Thank you so much. But please do not put yourself in a bind. Don't do that. I hope y'all have been doing good. Had a good weekend, good week. And I will probably get back on here at some point tomorrow. Till then, y'all have a good night. Talk to you later.